On behalf of the accountancy profession, FCM uses its unique position coupled with its resulting regional expertise and existing rapport with the region's major institutions to promote a regional perspective on the various factors capable of reinforcing the financial reporting infrastructure in the Mediterranean, namely rules, profession, and institutions. FCM aims at increasing the visibility of regional themes as well as the level of dialogue with policymakers. Despite the enormous potential of the region, the unquestionable economic benefits, and the strong interest of the private sector, the process of integrating the Mediterranean region appears to be a long and complicated one. At the end of 2010, the Mediterranean region underwent a period of great change, the final outcome of which is still unpredictable. A profound transformation process is ongoing that will have lasting consequences not only for the countries of the region, but also for the rest of the world and for the European Union in particular. One thing is clear, however: the Mediterranean populations have an urgent need for reform, for more dynamic societies and economies. The regional dimension has taken on increased importance, and regional cooperation will be more vital than ever. There is a growing need for a more integrated regional market and for regional coordination mechanisms. But so far, the Euromed cooperation has achieved far less than that of other large regions such as NAFTA and the ASEAN in terms of convergence, economic integration, and a serious regulatory convergence strategy. The development of SMEs is a top priority of Euromed cooperation activities. The main objective of the FCM conference is to highlight the importance of good SME regulations and regulatory convergence for promoting economic integration and development in the Med region. It is important to avoid unnecessary burdens, but it is equally important to consider the primary role of good regulation when assessing the impact of regulation of SMEs. And the primary role of good regulation is to provide confidence to markets and to the people who do business in them, and it is fundamental for financial stability and prosperity. Unfortunately, we are realizing this more and more every day with the current crisis, which is basically a crisis of confidence. Policymakers and standard setters are currently debating what constitutes a sustainable regulatory framework for SMEs. We have seen the conclusions of the Cannes G20. They reiterate the importance of having a single set of high-quality global accounting standards, but at the same time, the G20 SMEs policy guide warns against a one-size-for-all approach and the rigid application of standards. They also emphasize the importance of regulatory framework and global coordination. This morning, we will discuss the EU proposals on audit, which will have a major impact on the debate on the role of audit, not only in the EU and its neighboring countries, but also on a global scale. Also, Professor Lino Cattarelli, Senior Deputy Secretary General of the Union for the Mediterranean, will share his views on the importance of a coherent SMEs policy framework for the region, and we are very glad to have him here today, as we believe that the UFM can play a crucial role in the region. A much-needed role of coordination and impulse for a deeper Euro-Mediterranean integration. The afternoon will be devoted to a more detailed examination of SMEs financial regulation with the presence of, among others, officials from the Moroccan and Turkish governments and representatives from UNCTAD, UEA, PME, EFA, IFAC SMP Committee, and ACCA. I hope you will find the conference interesting and that it will provide for all of us food for thought. With this conference, we would also like to challenge the governments, the UFM, the EC, and the other institutions active in the region to consider the importance of good and sustainable regulation, the need for a regional approach, coordinated, transparent, and shared consultation and cooperation processes in order to produce effective regulation, the value of regulatory convergence, particularly important in the field of financial regulation, and finally, the relevance of the profession and its contribution through its global, regional, and local institutions. Thank you all. I shall now introduce the Vice President of CNDCEC, Mr. Francesco Di Stefano. Francesco holds a degree in business economy. He is the President of the Accountants Local Chapter of Catania, Member and Vice President of the Consiglio Nazionale Regioneri, and currently is a member of the Supervisory Council Organismo Italiano di Contabilità. He also served as the Italian representative in the board of IFAC from 1998 to 2000. Francesco Di Stefano.